I never thought I'd end up in a courtroom fighting for my life's work. But there I was, staring down a con artist who thought she could bully me into submission. She demanded $25,000, claiming I owed her for some made-up homeowners association fees. Me, a small-town mechanic who'd built everything from the ground up, facing a scam so bold it'd make your head spin. Her name was Linda Carter, and she thought she could crush me with fake paperwork and threats. But she didn't count on one thing. I wasn't going down without a fight, and justice has a way of sneaking up on people like her with a wicked sense of humor. By the time the truth unraveled, the courtroom exploded in a way I'll never forget. This is my story of revenge, and trust me, it's one wild ride. It all started in a quiet corner of Boise, Idaho, where I ran my pride and joy, Harper's Auto Repair. It wasn't much, just a modest garage where I fixed cars for folks who'd become like family over the years. The smell of engine grease, the hum of a revived motor, the grateful smiles from customers was my version of the American dream. I'd bought my house in a neighborhood free of any homeowners association, or HOA, because I couldn't stand the idea of someone dictating how I mowed my lawn or what flag I flew out front. Life was good, simple, and drama-free. That is, until a crisp October morning in 2024 when everything changed. I was elbow-deep in the engine of a 1969 Mustang when I heard car doors slamming outside. Not unusual for a busy day, but then came these sharp, official voices that made my stomach twist. I wiped my hands on a rag and stepped outside, only to find a woman in a tailored suit, flanked by 3 clipboard-wielding goons who looked like they'd walked out of a bad cop show. The woman, Linda Carter, locked eyes with me, her gaze cold enough to freeze the desert. "Are you Michael Harper?" she asked, her voice dripping with authority. When I nodded, her lips curled into a smile that screamed trouble. "I'm Linda Carter, president of the Willow Creek Neighborhood Association. You owe $2,800 in unpaid HOA dues, and I'm here to collect." My brain screeched to a halt. HOA? I'd chosen this house precisely because there was no HOA. I told her as much, thinking it was some mix-up, but she laughed, a sharp, mocking sound that made my blood boil. "Denial doesn't change the law, Mr. Harper," she said. "You owe the money, and you'll pay it." Before I could argue, her team sprang into action like a well-oiled scam machine. One guy snapped photos of my garage, another measured my grass with a ruler, and the third scribbled violations on official-looking forms. My mailbox was non-compliant. My trash cans were improperly placed. It was absurd, but the way they moved, so confident and rehearsed, made it feel terrifyingly real. Linda dropped the bomb. "You have 48 hours to pay $2,800 plus a $400 late fee, or we'll start legal proceedings to seize your property." Her eyes gleamed with something sinister. She was enjoying this. I pulled out my phone and started recording, a gut instinct that saved me. Linda didn't notice, too busy spewing threats about my business license and code violations. I demanded proof of this so-called HOA, but she waved me off. "It's all filed with the county," she said, like I was a nuisance. Just then, my neighbor, Clara Thompson, a 73-year-old sweetheart who'd lived here forever, shuffled over, her face pale. "Michael, she hit my house yesterday, demanding $1,000, she whispered. Linda shot her a venomous glare, but Clara stood her ground. That's when I knew this wasn't a mistake, this was a calculated scam. After Linda's crew left, I dove into research. In 20 minutes, I confirmed there was no Willow Creek Neighborhood Association registered in Idaho. Their website, glossy as it looked, was created a month ago. This was a con, and Linda was a pro. The next day, I woke to an orange notice glued to my garage door, actual paint damage where they'd scraped off old adhesive. Final notice, property lien filed. Immediate payment required. My hands shook as I read it. I called the police, but they brushed it off as a civil matter. City Hall was a dead end, passing me from one department to another with no answers. By afternoon, a fake city inspector showed up, demanding my business records. His badge looked like a Halloween prop, and when I asked for ID, he stormed off, muttering threats. The city later confirmed no inspectors were scheduled. That evening, Linda escalated her attack, calling my customers with lies about my business being under investigation. Longtime clients canceled appointments. Others asked if the rumors were true. She wasn't just after money, she wanted to ruin me. But Clara, bless her, uncovered something chilling. She'd talked to neighbors and found others who'd been hit. The Millers paid $5,000. An elderly couple lost $3,500. A single mom scraped together $2,000. Linda was a predator, moving from one neighborhood to the next. But I had her on tape, admitting the HOA was fake. I don't care if it's real or not. Pay me, or I'll make your life hell. That recording was my ace. Then came the lawsuit, 20 pages of legal nonsense demanding $25,000 for violations and emotional distress. It looked real, with case numbers and seals, but I knew it was a trap to force me to pay or face court costs I couldn't afford. Lawyers quoted me $15,000 just to start, so I decided to represent myself. Clara helped me turn my garage into a war room, organizing evidence and practicing my case. We found more victims willing to testify, and the community rallied behind me. My discovery requests exposed Linda's shoddy fakes bylaws with typos, minutes for non-existent dates, a bank account opened weeks ago. When I learned my case was assigned to Judge Eleanor Brooks, known for shredding scammers, I felt a spark of hope. The courtroom was packed, buzzing with anticipation. Judge Brooks had a reputation for wit and a no-nonsense approach to fraud. As I presented my evidence, Linda's confession, fake documents, victim testimonies, she listened intently, her sharp eyes missing nothing. Linda's lawyer tried to spin her as a victim, but Judge Brooks wasn't buying it. She held up a fake charter, smirking. "Is this printed on copy paper, counselor?" The gallery chuckled as Linda's lawyer stammered. When I played the recording of Linda's confession, the room went silent, her own words damning her. "I don't care if it's real or not." Judge Brooks raised an eyebrow, jotting notes. Then Linda took the stand, and it was a disaster. Judge Brooks dismantled her lies with surgical precision. Ms. Carter, your minutes show a meeting on February 29th last year, but February had 28 days. Care to explain? Linda's excuse typos, bureaucratic delays, crumbled as Judge Brooks fact-checked in real time, confirming no Willow Creek Association existed. When asked about board members, Linda named people, 2 of whom were deceased. The gallery gasped. Judge Brooks smiled grimly. "Are you saying your HOA is run by ghosts, Ms. Carter?" Then she played the recording again. Linda's face collapsed as her perjury was exposed. Judge Brooks' verdict was a masterpiece. "Ms. Carter, you've run a pathetic, amateur fraud, terrorizing families with fake documents riddled with errors. You've stolen $53,000 from honest people, and you thought you could lie in my courtroom." The gallery erupted as she sentenced Linda to 18 months in jail, full restitution, and a lifetime ban from HOAs. As Linda screamed about injustice, Judge Brooks quipped, "This is more entertaining than daytime TV," sparking laughter as Linda was cuffed and dragged out. Justice felt sweeter than I'd imagined, but it left me wondering, how many others are out there falling for scams like this? Should victims like me have to fight alone, or should the system do more to stop predators like Linda? What would you have done in my shoes, paid up or fought back? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories of justice served. Where are you watching from? And what's the shadiest scam you've ever dodged? Let's get this conversation going.